Welcome back to Small British Steps. You find us. We're just, I'm going to speed this up a bit. We are just going to go and complete the next of our X-Planes mid-supersonic, and I think this finishes the mid-supersonic set for us, and then after this it will be the Mach 2 flight, and then this craft will probably get retired. I need to actually check. Are we actually... Oh, that's been stopped. We need to start that because we're going to get to the required speed at some point, aren't we? I am yet again having trouble with this going at the right... so that overrides it until we get to the right altitude, I think. Okay, so we just need to put the engines on max and then put the speed control on when we get to the right altitude. Okay, so one overrides the other. Interesting. Right, that's probably the problem. Right, there we go. So we should now be holding at the required speed. We're going to speed this up a bit. There we go. And that's it. So this episode we're rocking this one out. We may do the Mach 2 supersonic. We probably have time for it. We're going to do our probably our final rocket plane with the X1 cockpit, because I don't think we're going higher. It says there is another mission after that in that set of optional ones. So we're going to do that. We're going to do the 70 kilometer one. And then I'm going to show you also why I've rearranged what we're doing with research. Oh, and we've got some rockets that are going to go into orbit, but you'll see. So let's get on with this, I suppose. Right, so the main aim of the mission is completed. Now all we're doing is we're holding... actually, you know what, we're gonna go a bit higher. We're going to put this as 3. There we go. We're holding over 600 as we climb. That's quite impressive. This supposedly takes about 36 minutes or something like that. I'm not sure how many samples we're going to need to do. So we've got 1.4 on board. This is going to be a reasonably long flight. In fact, looking at it, yeah, we should be alright. Our fuel is going down pretty rapidly though, and we are getting a bit of cockpit heating. So we probably want to go a bit higher. Let's take it to 4. Yeah, I'm a little concerned about the cockpit heating up actually. I can see us now modifying this plane and putting the X-15 cockpit on it, because that is a lot of heat building up on there. What I have done in the past is actually put a cone on the front of the nose of these things to try and stop this, because then the nose cone gets the heat, but we will see. We've got a long way left to go. There is a lot of heat there. Let's just keep an eye on it. I really don't want to lose a pilot. I don't want to lose the craft either, because we've still got one more flight to go with this. The question I've got is, if I complete the supersonic one, would it have stopped this flight? I suppose as soon as we get the supersonic, the Mach 2 up, we're done, and then we can just take this flight and do what we want with it. We could actually put a probe on it, I wonder. Would that be a possibility? I think that temperature's getting worse. I'm trying to get a gauge on it. Can we actually see temperature? Part does not tell me. Okay. Right, we are coming into the final bit of this. It's just got a little bit less. Come on. I think we're gonna finish this task. Get it all. So that will be about a third. Yes. So we're gonna need 3 of these flights. Okay. Just takes a lot longer to do them, and we do get quite a bit of stuff right. Oh, and the fuel died. The fuel literally died as we finished it, I think. Did we get it? Yeah, we've got zero completion. Wow. Okay, so we're going to turn that. Whoa, autopilot manager module. Have I got? No, we've still got that turned on. Fix it. Hold on a second. Turn that off. We need to go back to standard fly-by-wire. Standard fly-by-wire. Wow, that was. Oh, this thing is now going backwards. It has completely flipped out and it's now going backwards. Do that and then turn. There we go. Okay. Oh, we're now in a spin. Well, that definitely stopped the engines and everything, didn't it? It stopped. Oh, come on, point downwards. Give me forward direction. Give me some control. We're out of fuel. The thing is as light as a feather right now. I'm guessing it's not stable when it's fully out of fuel. But we've had it without fuel before. We've actually drained its tanks. It's been. I suppose we drain them when we come down normally. Right. So that's fun. I think this is going to be this is a death spit. I don't know if I can roll out of it. Can I roll out? Can I put my nose down? Put my nose down. Come on. Come on. Get the nose. I cannot get the nose down. So what I'm trying to do is get the nose down so that I can actually, no, it's just, yeah, I think we're in a flat spin or some such thing. I can't. Right, parachutes away. It's good that we've got the parachutes because without them we would be dead. Right. Note to self, always have parachutes even when you're going to land a plane normally. I mean, alternatively we'd bail out. LC Grey would bail out if we had a major problem, I think. I mean, this is a major problem, but not for this craft. It's actually a really good landing profile for this craft, actually. Right, so we've got all of that done. That mission will come to an end, and I shall see you back at the... oh, what is going on here? What is going on? Well, that just happened. Yeah, we've lost an engine. One flight to go and we lose an engine. Brilliant. Guess we're going to be rebuilding that. Although it matches with what we've got planned anyway, so we're not in a hurry. Right, to recover the vessel. Alright, so Elsa is off on holiday again. We have got 3.3 science for that. That's nice. That adds to what we need to spend because we do need to do some science. Before we launch the next one, which we do have a crew member ready for, I just want to show you that I've rejigged the research. I've actually moved hypersonic flight back, primarily because we've got a few flights that I want to get out of the way for orbital rocketry before I need this one. But also because we're not in a hurry to finish our orbital contract. We've actually got, if we have a look, we've actually got 4 years left on this. We've only just finished year 1. We've got 4 years left. We could finish it in a year, and then I'm sat around waiting. So not in a hurry to do it. X-planes, however, I've got 2.5 years to do this in. After that, we start, I think, making a loss. So we're going to have to repair the plane for the Mach 2 flight. Then we've got the high altitude one and the Kármán line to do. We've done the high altitude once. We've got an optional one. We're going to do that. So we've taken that, I think, have we? We're going to take that flight there because we don't have, you know, there's no alternatives now. So that one we might as well take. That's done. You can see the optional has been taken. So let's move on. We are go with the rocket plane. Let's just check. We are aiming for 70. So we're going to get a bit of thrust and then we're pulling back on the stick and we're going to go for 45-degree climb. We want this to be fast, quick and efficient is the idea that we're looking for. We are looking for an apoapsis of 70. While we're doing this, we just check that we've actually got everything on. That is good. We can have a look at contracts that we completed. So first polar orbit satellite is done. First artificial satellite, 30 kilograms, done. And X-planes mid-supersonic optional is done. So we've got all those pointies done together. Yeah, this will be I believe, the last flight for this craft. When we actually go to the X-15 cockpit, it is not just a case of swapping this one out, putting this section onto a new cockpit, because number one, I think that change is a huge change. I think it would be a 100% rebuild anyway. But we're actually replacing the fuselage. We're actually replacing the fuselage, changing the tank sizes in there. We are putting an extra engine in, I think. I have to remember. We designed this a couple of episodes ago. But that's what's going to happen with that. So I don't feel the need too much to push it now. I am trying to decide what's best with this, whether it's a good idea to go a little bit steeper, I think it is, and then have a real heavy climb down. I don't know. We are fighting a bit here. I need to get to 70. We are going to do it. I think this craft could go well over 70. My concern is, I'll put it on the marker, put it there, and kill it. There we go. So it's 74. We should be able to ride this up, I think. That's my hope. That's the hope anyway. We've still got how much time on this? Another 8 minutes on the high altitude flight stuff. Okay. And you'll need to be going over 600 for that. So we will get that for a bit and then we'll get it on the way down as well. Currently, I'm holding on to some of our fuel. We will dump it on the way down, so we'll get that ready. We're going to dump it on the way down. We're not going to dump it on the way up because it's actually momentum at the moment. It's carrying us through the air a bit. The wings are not going to be as draggy. Although actually we are getting a bit of getting a bit of lift off the wings, which is interesting. Right, let's dump HTP and kerosene. One thing to think about on the next craft is actually do we want to put RCS on it? And it is something that might be a good idea because, in all honesty, this craft is not the greatest for stuff and things. Right? Are we still? Oh, we are still actually managing to keep surface speed above 6. Is it 600 that we need it on? Let's have a look. Over 650. Oh, we're keeping it over 650 just. So are we going to continue to keep it over 650? We are. There's a nice arcing flight actually. Now the problem here is we are going to come down with a bit of a bump, I think. We don't have a huge amount of delta V, but we are coming down from quite a high altitude. So we're going to let it go down a bit, and then when we start to bite in the air, then we're going to have to start using the control systems to really fight back. You can see they're automatically sort of kicking in now, sort of pulling us back. We're going to be doing quite a bit of speed. We're gonna pull this up as much as we can, and I'm actually tempted to do a little bit of a roll like so with the tail. There we go. Just offset me. Come on, just pull it up a bit. We are going to start to grab some air at some point. Come on. Oh, stability is not good on this, is it? It's lost stability. Right, we're now below the altitude where it matters. Speed is not important anymore. What is important is survival. So we need to start getting out of this fall. This is a bit of a suicide drop. Right, here we go. Come on, pulling back. I'm going at normal speed in this, aren't we? Yes, we are. Right, we are losing speed. That's good. I think we're okay. I think we've got this. I think I could probably kill it a bit more. Right, let's put the speed up. We don't need to worry too much. So this is Roy. Roy has done this, I think. We haven't even got a heating on the cockpit, actually. However, just realised we are going straight for the water. Because we did such a sharp rise, we are going to crash down in the water if I'm not careful. So we're going to do a turn at Mach 2 because we're obviously capable of that now. We'll do a turn all the way around, just get it so we're heading somewhere else. We'll just turn back the way we came. And this is, I believe, the last flight of this. So if we lost this one, if we lose the engines, not a big problem. Of course, we probably won't lose the engines on this one because why would we? Why would we lose the engines on a plane that we really don't need to fly again? Because that would just be logical. Right. Let's put this thing down a bit now. We'll put it down. You can see this now. Those of you playing on the pack, have you noticed sometimes the little waterfall configs for these change? So they were fitting nicer last time I was with them, but they look like cat's eyes now. There is something, and I don't know what it is, that just triggers them to do a little bit of warping. I don't know what's going on. Thank you to the person who, I think it was Bokchat, somebody, I can't remember, who actually came up with a change for one of the engine configs. It might have been Spectre, it might not have been, it might have been Sprite actually. It might have been Snarler, I think it was Snarler. I have gone through these multiple times to try and fix them. It's an absolute nightmare sometimes. Right, here we go, coming in, and it's going to be good, I think. Let's hope that this is going to be okay and we don't overheat. I don't think we're going to. We can just pull out of this quite easily. I don't know how low I want to go. Actually, you should probably have the actual floor altitude on in case I go too close to it. That's the problem with actually learning. If you do a lot of flying in the Australian area, it's actually very near to zero. It's very flat, and so you actually forget that you are. Like if we look at there, 33.5. It's actually, it's very, very near. So very easy to get used to the fact that you're on you think you're on ground level. You're actually on sea level, and then when you come and do other stuff, it's in another area, it causes a problem because you end up hitting the ground because you don't realize how close you are to it. All four of the engines have gone that different color again. Interesting. Right, I think I'm ready to fire some parachutes. There we go. Do that. We're also we've dumped all the fuel, haven't we, already? So we are just ready to bring this thing down. So I will bring this down, and I shall see you back at the Space Center. So we've got another one of our guys going for a holiday. We've got a little bit of science out of that, almost 1 science. So we've only got 5.5 to 7.8. There's only, what, 1.8 science left up there or something. So potentially 2-3 flights would get it. If we feel the need to launch that craft a couple of times, we could do that. All right, next thing to do, we actually need to move some staff because we have got some extra staff on the Javelin program that we need to move back into the hangar so we can actually recover our craft. That's going to take 9 days. We'll run that through. There we go. While we're doing that, let's have a look what we've got coming up. So it's going to take 161 days for hypersonic flight to finish. The Derwent is ready. So let us actually edit that now. So we have the Derwent. We're gonna go and we're gonna put the new one in its place. That will involve us putting a new engine on. That takes us 95 days to do that if we use the standard amount of tech. I also want to make sure this is turned on. There we go. Save that. That is going to be the next one we're going to build, so we're going to save the edits for that. Probably at this moment saying, well, why don't you put some more crew in to get the Derwent done, then you can get the Mach 2 done. We're not in a hurry for that. We're actually being held up by the research at the moment. Our research is maxed out. We've got $250,000 in the bank, so I might actually start spending money, but I really want the tracking upgrade done as well, because I will need that for later missions, but we'll worry about that in the future. We're up at 5.4 science, which means I can't take anything. I really want to take this avionics because we use that quite a lot. That is the big upgrade to the science cores, which basically gives them huge amounts of electrical charge savings. So it basically means we could do some really interesting stuff with probes and things. I'm not going to go for the where are we, the Avon upgrade here, because we don't actually need it. We're not going to be doing that. I don't think we have anything like a RAM in air thing. We've got nothing. No, nothing. Advanced jets. Do we have anything here? The Olympus is not going to give me the high speed I need. I need like Mach 4. So I need to have a look and see which of these can give me, Mach 4. Is it going to be Mach 4? It's actually going to be Mach 4, I think is what we're looking at. I think you have to go all the way down to, I don't know. Do we have a thing? Low pass turbofan. We don't. I don't know where it is actually. I'm sure there used to be an engine that was. Let's have a look. Bears. There used to be like a ram scoop engine type thing going on, but I do not see it. So it's going to make that sort of high speed flight a bit more difficult. But we can run multiple missions at high speed if we really need to. If we really want to, if we grab some science, we'll just sit it there. We can always use the X15 version to do it. We also need to start looking at this. The crude stuff is going to be important to us. Right, I think, having a look at everything, we are just going to go and see what craft we've got to launch. So let's have a look. Combined, we've got the mission planning is going to be done for one of our crew, but actually they're going to need to do it again. Because we are going to be without stuff. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's have a look. Get rid of that. We've completed that one. What's the next one? We don't... Right, okay. So it's only high altitude. So we obviously have to complete this before we get that... which one was it? Where is it? Is it to the doing order? Here we go. This is a series of 4 contracts, 2 of which have been completed. So this would be the 3rd. Which means there'd be another one after this, which would be, I'm guessing it's the sort of the one above this one. So probably one at about 90. So we could have a couple more flights potentially in us, which would be quite cool. I quite like that actually. So it makes the X15 a bit more worth us investing in instead of just completing that program. We do have these to do. Biological I could do. I'm not in a vast hurry to do it. What we are going to do is we're going to do some missions we don't actually. We're going to do some flights we don't need to do. We're going to do them for science. So we're going to send up. Where are we? The Julie. Where are we? Julie 2 and Julie. I've got 2 Julie. Oh, Julie 2. Oh, these need renamed. These are incorrect. Let's go back. That needs to be renamed. So the Juliet 3. The T and the L look very similar, so it looks like Juliet T. So the Juliet 2, the Juliet 3, Juliet 4. These two are cameras we're going to put into basically polar orbits, try and get some science from them. This one, I can't remember. I believe this is the biological return, or the biological one which doesn't return. It just has to stay in orbit for a day with electricity. So all three of these we can go through, and we've got time to do it. It's part of the reason why I'm not rushing this, because, well, we've got time, haven't we? Oh, we're over 1,000 on our reputation, which gives us not that much more, actually, when they've got confidences through the roof. Brilliant. Right, so we're going to go forward to the Javelin launch, I think. Let's just okay that. Warp to the Javelin launch prep. We can roll that out. I suppose we could sort the Crummock out, but I don't think we're going to use it again, so we'll just leave it where it is. Maybe off camera I will prep that, but we'll roll out the Javelin and get ready to launch it. Right, so here we are on the launch pad with a Juliet 2, and we're just going to set the engines off and see what happens. This is going to be going into, hopefully, an orbit of, is it 200 kilometers circular in a polar direction. We've got a bit of a pause there. And we are going, now this is interesting, it's going southerly again. So last time I put it as went for an inclination of minus 90. This time we've gone for an inclination of 90, it's gone the other way. Okay, it's gone the same way, which is, it's just doing it to annoy me, isn't it? So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do this. I'm going to annoy myself. I'm going to spin it around. There we go. Right. We do have a lot of cloud cover today. And yes, I'm doing this launch again without showing it, because I'm imagining that we've programmed the computer and the computer is just going to do it for us. That's the reason we've got avionics. That's why it's going on. That's what's happening. In fact, we're going to just speed it up a bit. We're just going to speed it up. We've got to put it up with speed a little bit. So this is pretty much the first craft that we launched. The difference is we've now got a little camera on that top science probe, and that will detach and it'll have about a day in orbit. If we had the better avionics already and we'd operated that avionics core, it would probably go around the planet 4 or 5 times. As it is, we're going to, well, actually not 4 or 5 times, for 4 or 5 days. As it is, it's only going to last for about a day. So we've got a second one of these lined up as a second launch, just so once we've seen the science, we can decide whether it's worth sending it up. We may end up scrapping it. We may end up just go straight to the next, the Juliet 4, which is the biological one. But we're not getting any funds for this. This is not a funded mission. All we're doing is actually getting science because we want some science. We are currently lacking science. I need to get some science up because we're about to run out of stuff for our researchers to do, and I think that's a crime. That is a crime for us if we have that situation. So we just need to push on and see what we can actually get science-wise and things like that. Right, let's have a look how we're doing. We have got that spin, which I do not like, and I don't think is going to get fixed. Oh, horrible ditching up and down as we go. We literally, that always gets us into the atmosphere sort of range. Now the camera spinning, it's a television camera, so that's not a massive issue because it's not spinning badly. It's just spinning slowly, which actually is probably not a bad thing. The television camera would then, for half the time, be showing bits of Earth, and you could get pictures from it. I don't know how good the actual camera would be, but we can have a look. Anyway, enough of this. Let us actually have a look at how we're doing. So we've got 22 seconds left to burn on this. We're pretty much almost at the required delta V, at the delta V point, the orbital speed. So our orbital speed at this point will be, is it 770? 7,800. 7,800 is okay. Good thing to remember. Right, we're going to close that down. We are now going to have a look. Now I'm going to show you this. So we've got, here we are. In fact, you know what? Jump across. Go to here. We're going to get rid of that and that. I'm going to jump back over here and jump to this. I'm going to keep that on, I think. In fact, it doesn't really matter, does it? Yeah, we're just going to have to do it without. Right. So this thing, yeah, they're coming around, currently has 10 hours of electricity. However, if we do that, it's now got a day and 4 minutes. How good. and we are going polar. So if we come up here and we have a look, we will be able to see we're getting data in and we're going to transmit it. What I want to do is actually bring this up. We're going to look by what's on this craft. We're going to go visible. We're going to have a look at Earth. Come here, Earth. Right, and the ones we want to look at are not the flying high. It is the space. Okay, interesting. We didn't get any flying high at all. It's interesting. I would have thought we might have got some. I was actually tempted to see if we could launch one of these into an orbit of like 135 by 135 and just see what happened. Or 139 by 139, because I think that would be quite amusing. Just leave it on overnight, orbiting and seeing what happened, and maybe time lapse it or something would be good. But we might do that. We might do that in the future. It's something to do as a bit of fun. So it takes about 20 minutes for this to do stuff. So we're just going to, I'm going to pull that up there. We can see it's got 1 day 4. Let's run forward in time a little bit. 1 day 4 goes to 1 day and 8 hours. That's interesting. So we've got what, 28 hours. And we will have signal dropout where we don't have anything, but the device will actually still be collecting science. It's then got to transmit it back. That's going to be the problem. Because at some point we're actually going to lose power with data still on board, I would imagine. I would imagine that's something that's going to happen. I'm assuming we're able to transmit the data pretty quickly. It's 300 bytes. So yeah, you can see we can basically download big chunks of data quite quickly there. We're getting ice caps. That's good. I like that. We're getting that coming in. You can see it's starting to build up. We'll also be able to see that the craft is now at 0.9 credits already. That's good. So we can just see, we can just speed this up, just keep it going. And it's going to do quite a number of orbits. Troll Station. Did anybody see that there? There is a station called Troll Station. I did not know that there was a transmitter called Troll Station. Now you can see we get a lot of blackouts here. So we are dumping data when it comes round. 1 day and 7 hours. Now why have we got 1 day 7 hours? Oh, because the transmitter's not running when that happens. Ah. So actually, maybe we should turn off the transmitter. Turn that off. Turn that off. Gives us a bit more stuff and things. And then, you know, I'm going to leave it on because we're going to end up messing it up, aren't we? We will forget about it. Right, let's have a look. Oh, we're starting to get quite a bit of science in. Actually, you can see we're starting to get some values filling in there. 0.71. We've got all of the water. That's good. So it's not going to be running when it's over water now, which is a big bonus. It's going to help us. We've got ice caps done. Okay, that's a good one. We've got big chunks. We still don't have tundra. That's interesting. We have 6.2 credits, 6.3, 6.4, 6.5. Okay, so that's given us something to research at least. We've got enough points there to actually do some research now. What's it actually look like on our thing? We're at 12. Okay, we're at 12. That's not bad. We have other science equipment that I'm going to launch on another craft, but that does require us to do a bit of research before we get to that point. So we'll see how that goes. That could be an interesting one. Let's have a look. This is giving us some more research money anyway. It's also giving us a bump. I think, is it reputation? The probe has run out of batteries. That's interesting. We're going to move this forward a bit. So the probe is out of batteries. We've gone 1 day, 1 hour left. The probe is now completely without batteries. I thought I'd click that off. Right, we're going spinny, fast now. Right, we're definitely around about, we're less than a day now. We're less than a day on actual power. Oh no, we're not. I wonder, because we've got so many regions that we're not actually we're not doing anything for. I suppose we're actually getting more bang for our buck almost. Let's have a look. How are we doing? So we finished, tropics are done. Okay, we've got a few more biomes done. We've got some science from every biome right now, which is really good. I don't see any biomes we don't have anything from, which is really good. We've got half of savanna. We're looking difficult for savanna and tundra, although they're catching up. I think we might actually get this all in one flight. That would be quite cool. If we could get this all in one flight, we're down to 16 hours. I think mountains could potentially be the difficult one because we don't seem to be getting much. Oh no, it's only two left, Savannah and mountains. Okay, we could slow down a bit now. We've got 12 hours. 12 hours to do this, and we have got a little bit of mountains left, a little bit of savannah. We just got a big dump of a load of stuff, so we'll just run this on. Now you can do this in the background. We could go back to base and just let it happen, but we've got what, about half a credit worth? Yeah, about half a credit worth of science to grab. It's going to be from mountains. I don't know when that's going to take. We've been up for about a day now. So you would have thought we would have gone over mountains. We've gone over mountains at least once. There you go, got 0.3, 0.2. Come on, almost. How much time we got there? 4 hours. 0.1. And I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. Superb. Right, and we are going to, you know what we're going to do? We're actually going to look at what vessels we've got. So this one we're going to get rid of. We don't want it. The other one was the Juliet, the other bit of Juliet. That's what it was. That's why it was confusing us. Right, so now we've got this one, and we're going to get rid of this one as well. Right. We are done for the sciences. So this thing has done us proud. It has got us up to 21.9 science. So I think it got about 16.5 science for it. So let's go and spend it. Right, so we've got a big chunk of science. First thing we're going to do is we're actually going to not spend our science straight away. We're going to get rid of a Juliet 3. We're actually going to just scrap it. We don't need it. Its mission's been completed. So Juliet 4 will be the next one to go. I'm not going to rename it because I quite like the fact it's already got a name. We probably shouldn't have put it on the build list first, but it's on the build list as Juliet 4. That's what it's going to be. Right, science purchase time. So first thing I'm going to get is we're going to get some avionics. That's nice. That's going to help us. We want some communications, and then it starts to get expensive. Now, if we get heat sink thermal protection, unlocks beryllium heat sink technology designed for ballistic re-entry, and then we've got adjustable heat shields. If we do lunar range communications, we can actually get better science upload and stuff. However, entry, descent and landing is interesting because it then allows us to actually put some craft into orbit and bring them back down. In particular, biological samples. That advanced biological sample requires a day in orbit. This would give us something to do with it while we're doing other stuff. So, do we actually do it? Because Juliet 4 is going to complete that mission, but it seems like a complete waste to me to do it. I think I want to go... I think I want to go for that first. Then we go lunar range communications. Although I need lunar range communications to get mapping and tracking and stuff. You know what? No. I'm gonna go different to how I normally go. We're gonna put monkey on. We're not gonna put a monkey. We're gonna put a koala in orbit. I think is what we're gonna do. It's a bit of a weird choice to do that. We might get enough to do that as well. We're what, 3.1 short, and we should actually get that from our supersonic flights if we run them again. So they'll be back soon. So that's good. In which case, do I want to even run this mission? I don't think I do. I think that's a waste for us if we do that. I think that's the end of the Juliet program. I think... Yeah, I think it is. I think unless we... Yeah, we'll put together something for return. Possibly based on this. Let's have a look. What's the mission actually require? What does it give us? So we do it, we put it up, and then we do that. It stays there for a day, and we're done. It comes from a reasonably high altitude, though. You know what? I think I want to do it properly. I know the example here that they give is, where is it? The example is Sputnik 2, which was it a dog? Was Sputnik 2 a dog? Or something like that. No, it was fruit flies. It was fruit flies or something like that, wasn't it? Dog was later, I'm sure. Was it? I can't remember. It might have been a dog. Anyway, I think what we'll do is we're not going to do that. We're not going to leave something up in orbit. I just don't like it. So we're going to delete that. We're going to scrap it. Did we actually spend much on it? I don't think we've tooled anything that we're not going to use. So scrap it. Yes, we will. Right. Which means we are not doing much for a while. We've got reconditioning. We can just run through this. Actually, you know what? We're missing a trick here, aren't we? We're not doing any work on Javelin at the moment, so we might as well put all the work into the hangar because we've got nothing else being constructed. We've got the reconstruction of that, the hangar of that, and the hangar of that. They will be done very quickly. And then I think we're going to rush to hypersonic. Yeah, I'm not in a hurry to get the... We could do the Derwent. I can do the Derwent in the background, or we can do that in a moment. But we'll get hypersonic ready because I do need to actually get crew ready for doing that. So we're gonna get the crew training. So training, we're gonna send up for the X1 for the fast. Yeah, I think we're gonna go for LC Gray. Yeah, I think so. I think she gets to break Mach 2. She's done it before, actually. Let's put... You know what? We'll put both of them in. Start the training. We'll make a decision when they've done it. We're going to prep those for launch on the car. It takes a day, no time at all. And I believe, as our research done, we have got our research done. So let's go and let's go start building our new plane. So let's have a look. Where is our Crummock R2? Let's just check that everything is okay with it. We should have everything. We've got our 5 engines there. We're going to, let me just check. What have we got? Action groups on them, haven't we? Action group 1 is which engines? The outer set. Action group 2 is the inner set. I like that. We don't have the parachutes being controlled, which it just throws me off completely because I'm sure it used to be like an arm function, but there is no arm function anymore, which is really odd because it used to have, so you've got to disarm the parachute, but you don't have an arm the parachute, unless I suppose it's an automatic deploy. I don't know. Right, we'll just check it has, we want those on. Telemetry crew. Oh, it has not got crew science set up. Why not? I did not do this. So Mach 2 we're not going to be doing. High altitude we could start with, or we could go for this one, the hypersonic. I think we're going to go hypersonic. Yep, I think that's it. Let's just read what it says about this. So it says 1 person in the cockpit, rated for suborbital re-entries. There we go. The problem we're going to have is I am concerned that we might be going too fast with these wings. So did we actually get better surfaces? Supersonic, all moving, almost. Supersonic early, supersonic early, supersonic early, supersonic. We haven't got the spaceplane wings and stuff yet. So I'm going to assume that these are going to be okay. Let's hope it is anyway. Put the hypersonic on. We could run the other Crummock while this is going. Integration time is horrendous. But actually at current, it's... Oh, it only takes 100... Because we've got all the crew on it, 135 days to build the thing. Wow. I'm happy with that. So we're going to save that, and then we are going to... we're going to launch it. We're going to build it. Can it be reduced at all? What have we got? 1.25 procedural fairing. The stringers are still... Has that not been done? I thought that fairing at the back had been done. Okay, that's different. I thought we'd actually... Obviously, we never tooled it. We've got money to burn. What would it do if we did that? It would take 110 days. So we're cutting it by 20 days. I'm not doing that. That's not worth it for a craft of this build rate. Right, we're going to build it. There we go. We've got 30,000 going out of our stores. We're going to unlock all of those. Ooh, actually, you know what? Here's a thought. Are they spec 5s? Are they Spectre 5s? Are they? Engine. Spectre 5s, yeah. With variable thrust. Ooh. So we've actually got variable thrust on them. That's nice. How far down does it go? Actually, check the middle one. This is a Spec 5 as well. So variable thrust gives us down to about half, about 50% thrust. So we could just glide on up there. Yeah, I like that. That's good. Lets us refine our flight a little bit more. So I think that's good for that. Yeah, we may want to do an orbital version where we add in some RCS, probably on the tips of the wings, back there, back here, just to give us a bit of control. They can all be on the back surfaces to counter each other. About the center of mass. Center of mass is about there, so we'll put some there, some on each wing. That'll control tilt, forward, backwards, and then your left and right will have to put some sideways on the top here and on the top here, just to cause that a bit. I think we'll have to have a think about it. It's sometimes difficult with the wings being level like this. You'd actually drop the wings, put the thrusters above the wings so they were shielded so they didn't burn off. Right, but we can think about that in the next version. So yet again, we've come out of the hangar and it's showing it at 88 days. I'm sure it showed it about 120. And I'm just wondering, is it because the hangar has the max efficiency? But if we actually go to another one of these, the range is 50 to 100. The hangar is maxed out at 100%. But it would be potentially within this range, 50 to 100. And it just defaults it to the max. It doesn't have any data build up. So when our max was 50, then the hangar was working at 50. If the max for a launch complex was 50, if that makes sense. So I think that's what's actually happening. It's maybe thinking that it's at its lower limit, or it's thinking it's like at the Javelin limit or something like that. Javelin's up at 64%. That's quite good. Right. I'm going to leave it there for today. Next time we are going to be having, let's see, we've got potentially a Crummock doing just trying to get data. We've got potentially the Derwent trying to break Mach 2. We've got potentially the Crummock 2 going up with that big new cockpit and trying to break some barriers. And then we're also going to get our orbital rocketry and some avionics going, which will hopefully mean that we end up with some more capable launch vehicles, and that will, I think, open up the moon to us, potentially. But that's a long way in the future. So from me, until next time, have a great one. So if that was good for you, check out on the screen right now some links. You can see other videos you might like. Check out the channel, see if there's any playlists you like. There's also some links to other content creators there you might like. Or leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, do all those things.